phase here. Let's get it going. Here we see Team Clairvoyant versus Team Symbiote in this draft phase. Clairvoyant on that left side, blue team with that first ban Tychus, and then we see Symbiote on that right side, red team, first ban Arthas. So really traditional bans here for these teams.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the first ban Arthas, there's really no one who would ever look at you in a wrong way for first ban Arthas or Tychus.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although that being said, there is sort of this draft theory that's like, you know what, if you're first pick, maybe you don't ban either, because then the other team, they might ban one and you get a huge advantage, and if they don't, you still get one of them. But either way, it's still fine to ban either of the two.
Yeah, I would say this is definitely the safest, most common bans we've seen develop for the current meta. And then Team Clairvoyant Gaming with that first pick, actually taking Sonya, really uncommon to see her taken so early, correct?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, okay, so we see Clairvoyant take the Barbarian, Sonya, and then Symbiote follows up with the Tassadar, Vala, two really strong range damage dealers, especially with Tychus out of the game already. That definitely limits Clairvoyant's range damage options. So they follow up with Tyrael Uther, and then Symbiote grabs Zeratul Diablo, huge wombo combo potential there with the Void Prison into Apocalypse.
So just to say the logic there, so one of the common comps in comp that, I haven't ever really been super sold on, but, you see it a lot, is the idea of, bringing together Sonya and Tyrael. And the idea going for that is the idea that, you know what, either Barbarian gets a stun and then Tyrael follows up, or Tyrael gets a stun and Sonya follows up, and either way, that hero can't use their escape and they go down. Now, there are good counters to that, which you actually sort of see in Zeratul Diablo. They can either Void Prison to sort of break up the combo, which, by the way, Sonya does not like Void Prison. I think her worst case scenario is you Void Prison her as she leaps, and then she's out of it for 5 seconds and then leaps in a terrible spot. Mm-hmm. Or Diablo, who can just throw down Apocalypse right as they come in, which is also horrific to deal with.
Yeah, and if you ever get the 5-man Void Prison into the Apoc, I mean, that can be a game winner no matter how far behind you are, so...
Week 1 alpha wombo combos.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we see Team Clairvoyant just finishing off their lineup with the Falstad and a little bit of a niche pick, Nazeebo there. What do you think of that pick? Especially since the Diablo had already been picked. A lot of people think that's kind of a counter.
Yeah, I would not be picking Nazeebo and Diablo. That can end very, very horribly. In fact, I know when we personally do our drafts, it's like, well, let's go for Nazeebo here. It's like, oh, wait, there's Diablo or potential Diablo. Maybe we better not. I mean, Nazeebo as a hero is a fine hero as like a 4 or 5, when other good DPS have been picked and you need the extra stuff. But both Zeratul and Diablo can interrupt the stuff, so it's questionable.
Okay, so maybe that Nazeebo going to be having a rough time there, channeling the ult, but maybe he'll make it work. That'll be interesting to see. And Symbiote rounding it off with the Malfurion on their pickup. Surprised to see, personally here, the Malfurion over the Brightwing is the most surprising thing to me. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I was about to mention, I was like, wait a second, I'm looking at this. Where's Brightwing?
Yeah, Brightwing not picked or banned all
week. Is there
week.
just collective amnesia where both teams thought Brightwing was banned? It's like, oh wait, she's actually still there. Darn,
yeah, maybe.
Malfurion. I don't know, but that's actually quite surprising to me.
Well, definitely an interesting decision there to take Malfurion in the last slot. Let's see how it plays out. Get into this game. Clairvoyant Gaming against Symbiote. You in here, ZPs, you ready to go?
I am absolutely ready to go. Let's count it down.
Fantastic. Here we are, Blackheart's Bay, Clairvoyant Gaming on this blue team, ready to start this replay in 3, 2, 1. Yar. Here we go. Suki on the Cyberwolf. With that, Witch Doctor has the blue skin. March on Falstad. Descent playing Tyrael. And Hakfu on Barbarian. Notorious Diegi on that Uther.
And then for SMG, Symbiote, we have Arthalon on Zeratul, Soldier on Tassadar, Dreadnought on Diablo, KO, formerly known as Ashko at times, on Vala. I'm pretty sure I forgot someone. Oh, we have Mad Timmy on Malfurion, who's just like blending into the background 3 other heroes, making my life.
The owl camouflage is very strong with this one. Here we see both teams heading to the Watchtower. 4-ban top for Symbiote, only 2 top for Clairvoyant, so they're in a little bit of a risky position. They don't want to fight here for sure. They have 3 people bottom looking to get a gank brush onto this Vala, but I don't think Vala's falling for it. And Clairvoyant has ceded ownership of this top side of the map for that.
Yeah, and it honestly makes sense. They have a very strong early play team. Zeratul, part of the reason why he's coming to meta, it's not just the fact that Viper's in it, it's also that Zeratul is really obnoxious in the early game. He might not be as outright scary as a Kerrigan, but it's harder to keep track of him, and when he is on you, his damage in the early game is definitely real.
Yeah, so we see this bottom lane. Clairvoyant looking to get a kill on Kaio there, but they don't manage to have it. The Uther isn't in position for the follow-up. They're just going to secure that chest, and they're going to give up the top chest. So, like we saw, oh, huge engagement here on March. Maybe the headbutt into the overpower doesn't quite kill him. He barrel rolls away. So we see typical chest trade here between these two teams. And they're looking basically dead even going into this post-first chest environment.
One thing I think is a little bit interesting here is that you have Clairvoyant going for the Ogres much earlier than most teams do. Oftentimes they sort of wait off on that, but wasting no time this game.
Yeah, Clairvoyant absolutely being really aggressive in taking those Ogres, but Symbiote taking advantage of the fact that Clairvoyant doesn't have many people in this middle lane, and they're trying to deal damage to these turrets. The goal here, of course, to kill a turret to get that first bombardment to kill the fort.
Yep, getting that middle tower is so important. I mean, it just makes your first turn in stress-free. It's like, hey, we can turn in and get a huge XP boost, and they're doing it right now without a whole lot of contest, and they are good for their first turn in. And even better if they get down more, because it just makes the coin turn and do that much more damage.
Absolutely. In this early phase of the game where Team Clairvoyant doesn't have people in position to punish them, this is a really safe way to be extremely aggressive and get extra value out of their bombardment. But Clairvoyant thinks they're going to get the better edge of this. They're willing to give up the front wall of that mid fort in exchange for this bottom Ogre Knight push.
Well, bottom Ogre Knight push this early is actually going to be pretty rough to defend. I mean, they need to bring Tessar down now, and it looks like they are bringing Tessar down, but, you know, this is going to be rough. Knight's Ogres is a very potent combination, and it can be rough to defend if you bring your entire team to back it up.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if this Symbiote team doesn't actually manage to clear those Ogres in time. The Knights arrive now to tank the front line of that damage, and that's going to help those Ogres survive a lot longer and do tons of damage here. And now we have March just trying to solo defend against Mad Timmy Arthalon in the middle lane. Descent coming down, trying to get Sarhass on some damage, but it's not going to end in a kill. And Zeratul headed down to the bottom lane, maybe looking for a flank. They think Clairvoyant's possibly overextended here in this bottom lane with this push.
Very possible. And like I just said, this is almost a reversal of roles to some extent. I mean, I'm not sure how much you've played against Symbiote lately, but Symbiote themselves are really up for the, you know, killing or pushing down stuff early. Also,
well,
I talked way too long and they just got a kill.
It's alright. There were no big flashy stuff there, just a really clean flank coming in from Arthalon on the Zeratul, catching the Witch Doctor out of position. His Barbarian and Uther had already left, so he's just kind of out, left in the cold, to die alone. Sad day for the Witch Doctor, and that's going to be first blood for Team Symbiote, netting them a small amount of XP.
And for the record, that's one of the downsides of the Zebo in general, is that particularly in the early game, he can be a liability. Like, he can help, you know, push compensate, you know, running 4 top on high mines, but you know, if people get on him, he's not escaping. Zombie Wall is not your savior in most cases.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of heroes get to just ignore the zombie wall when they're chasing someone, and definitely has a rough time, especially against the Zeratul. He just kind of shows up, bursts you down, you have a hard time doing anything about it. And here we see Team Symbiote getting more pressure on this mid fort. Gonna take this top chest, and it looks like Clairvoyant may be interested in a fight here. Dreadnought zoning with the Diablo Shadow Charge. Roots go down, but don't hit anyone, allowing Clairvoyant to pick up a couple coins and not get the kill on Dreadnought, though.
Yeah, Diablo actually surprisingly tanky. You know, trying to get kills on him is rough in the early part. Oftentimes he just escape by, you know, right-clicking to his fort. It's like, well, he got away.
He already has 3,400 HP, literally double the amount of the squishies, so totally understandable that he is incredibly hard to take down. At half health, he has as much health as a full health squishy, and we see him just being entirely unafraid to brawl in this mid lane, even when outnumbered. Although, Team Clairvoyant just got a bombardment here. They're going to look to force something down maybe. They want to kill this fort with this first bombardment, but it's not going to happen naturally. They're going to have to help it out. Descent getting some damage on Mad Timmy, chasing him away to that top lane.
And just as a note right now, Mad Timmy did take mules, so if they don't immediately push this down, it is going to get muled up. In fact, their Tassar is shielding it just to help it out even more, so... You know, if Clairvoyant does not make a push here, this fort is going to get healed.
Yeah, the Tassadar shield helps mitigate, and then the mule helps heal it back up. It's going to be a really strong defensive, structure-oriented game plan coming out from Symbiote, just as a perk of the champion of the heroes they picked. So Definitely a good idea to get that mule on this map, and here we see it coming down on the mid fort to start healing it back up. And Clairvoyant not going to actually get anything out of that first turn-in. We see them going for maybe another turn-in here. Here are 7 coins being deposited, and we see Hawkfu and DIG grabbing the last few coins that they're going to need to get that completed turn-in. Now the question is whether Symbiote will let them have this, and even if they do, is it going to give them enough of an experience advantage to be 10 long enough to make something happen with that?
Hard to say. I mean, there's a lot of different ways they could play it. One of the most common plays on this map is that you hit 10 before the other team, you go up for the golem, but that is not going to happen because both teams have just hit 10 at the same exact time. But a turn-in is coming. They're not going to get the most use out of that fuel. This middle fort will go down, and truth be told, the top fort might go down. It's going to be close. It's going to take a lot of damage, if nothing else, and need a mule immediately.
Absolutely. And meanwhile, Clairvoyant Gaming has these ogres on the bottom side. They're looking to pressure this fort. It looks like the ogres are about to go down, and Symbiote's setting up for a kill. Oh, they're all flanking. They're coming in from behind. Void Prison hits Notorious DIG, isolates him out. Meanwhile, Zeratul onto March, doesn't manage to get the kill, has to disengage. The Witch Doctor ult coming in big, killing Arthalon, dropping 10 coins. Meanwhile, the Tranquility healing up his team, but Mad Timmy really low. The Judgment behind, and he does end up going down. A big teamfight victory there for Clairvoyant, and they're not done yet. They see those coins. They have Bloodlust. They're chasing into the fort. Dreadnought's got 10 coins, tries to Shadow Charge out. He's not going anywhere. And we see Clairvoyants take a 4-for-0 and take 15 coins off of Team Symbiote.
This is bad. As far as Symbiote, if you're from a Symbiote perspective, this is bad. This is the type of thing where, again, we were talking earlier, back in Game 1. It's very hard to make a comeback on this map. Getting or losing a team fight that decisively and losing coins almost never ends up well. Symbiote now has a very large amount in decline, whereas before that it was mostly even.
Yeah, absolutely. So we went from even there to a heavy swing in Descent in Team Clairvoyant's favor. Descent trying to get this turn in here, but I don't think Arthalon's going to let him. He's kind of just wasting a whole bunch of time and kind of in an unsafe position if that Diablo can get here, but he just casually Eldrarune's Mites out of that and walks away.
Isn't it amazing that an Angel of Justice that's supposed to be, the righteous in the middle of battle stuff is so good at being a coward and running away from fights? I'm just saying.
It happens. His ability's named Eldrarune's Might, but he uses it to disengage more often than not. Who knows, man? Who knows?
It should be called Eldrarune's Flight.
Oh,
that pun is terrible.
Nice.
I apologize.
No, it was good. I liked it. But you know what Symbiote doesn't like? Clairvoyant taking his Grave Golem. Already has it down to 2/3 health. And Symbiote has to run all the way across the map. We're going to see if Clairvoyant has the damage to finish this off before Symbiote gets in position.
Right now it looks like they're going to get it. I'm pretty sure they're going to get it where everything is right now. I just don't think Symbiote can get it time.
Oh, they might have a chance with an APOC hero, Void Prison, but oh, Diablo on the pad. This is going to commit them to a fight. Clairvoyant does manage to get this, and Hawkfu coming in with a huge leap onto Mad Timmy and his friend, and they're both going to get blown up with the Witch Doctor ult and the Falstad laser, and that is going to be another decisive teamfight victory in favor of Team Clairvoyant.
One thing I think that Symbiote could have been doing better here is that I think Diablo could just be a little bit more keying in Witch Doctor. They're really getting crushed by Witch Doctor ult here, and it's, the Diablo ult is great at interrupting it, but, right now I think you can even go further and just, save your Q for it and just get ready to, smash Witch Doctor.
I mean,
just get right on him.
Yeah. The Barbarian Leap there was so clutch too because it hit Malfurion and Tassadar, and both of your defensive characters, the heals and the shields, getting stunned out and insta-gibbed means that the whole rest of your team fight is at a huge disadvantage going forward.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, there's no way Avala's going to be able to sit and fight there. I mean, Vala's made out of paper under the best of circumstances. You take away her shields and healing, and she's not sitting there auto-attacking. She is running for her life.
Yeah, so Team SMG, Symbiote now on the back foot. They're trying to cancel this turn in, but it looks like Clairvoyants might have just enough time. Oh, they do get it in. Blackheart kicks that chest over, but Dreadnought wants to get this engage on Hawkfu, leaps into one target soldier, and it's not going to be enough. He's going to Void Shift out. Hawkfu's going to get isolated and targeted down. Now is Symbiote going to be able to take something else from this, or are they going to have to disengage? They're playing really cautiously. Mad Timmy in a questionable position. Dreadnought's going back in, trying to disengage. DIG goes down, and everyone on Symbiote low, but not dead yet. March looking to do some damage here. Arthalon re-engaging onto that Falstad, managed to get a kill in the end, which it is not actually yet.
Oh, and the
we see a judgment
coming in.
Another judgment onto that Zeratul. Does not kill him, but does manage to get Diablo in a bad position and kill him. So we end up this fight being a 2-for-3. Actually, a 3-for-3, never mind. Diablo had to use Souls and Revive, so he gets a disadvantage there. He's not as tanky as he was before, in exchange for a 3-for-3. So Clairvoyant and Team Symbiote trade even there. Meanwhile, there was a bombardment going down, and we see this mid keep. The entire supporting structure cast is destroyed from that bombardment.
So next turn is going to kill Millikeep, but let me just add there that that was a great effort by Symbiote. You know, maybe it didn't go perfectly, but down levels, that is exactly what you need to do to get back into this map. You know, to even trade when you're down levels and you need to get back into it, that is phenomenal and a good way of trying to claw back in, but they still have a long way to go.
Yeah, absolutely. They didn't manage to get the huge coin take back that they needed there. And here we see Dreadnought getting really aggressive in his position. Does drop the APOC, but it's not good enough. Haku leaps onto the backline, hits Mad Timmy and Kaio, and those are going to go down to the Witch Doctor ult. It's almost got him, and the Diablo's dead. Shock and Dog kills him right as he comes out of the ice block, and that is another huge teamfight victory for Clairvoyant.
And again, it's just the Witch Doctor ult. You know, they don't really have a whole lot on their team they can use to interrupt. In fact, let me just see if Vala can't, because I think she went strafe. Vala did in fact go strafe. Zeratul can only interrupt a Void Prison. Tassar can't interrupt it. Malfurion can't interrupt it. It really is on Dreadnought to just go back and queue away the Witch Doctor or Apocalypse, because if not, it's going to be doing crazy amounts of damage, and that's exactly what's been happening.
Yeah, the Witch Doctor ults and Barb Leaps together have been absolutely monstrous this game, crushing out the squishies on Team Symbiote. We might be seeing the fall of Team Symbiote here. Clairvoyant's in a good position. They don't have any coins. They only have 14 coins left on Suki. Is Witch Doctor the one you want to be carrying these coins? I don't think so.
Generally speaking, no. He is not the guy you want to trust with your life savings.
Yeah, the bank of Witch Doctor, I would not bank there.
The Bernie made off of heroes, I don't know.
And we see Clairvoyant has a 17 to 14 advantage, 3 levels and a talent. Definitely going to have an advantage if a 5v5 fight breaks out. And Team Symbiote knows this. They're not looking for a fight right now. APOC is down, and they definitely can't fight until that is up. So they're going to look to just hold as best they can. And Clairvoyant might force the issue and take a keep here.
Yeah,
Things go out on the keep. They're trying to get it down. APOC coming up in 20. Team Symbiote trying to get in position to defend. Notorious DOG taking a lot of harass damage here from Malfurion. Descent taking a bit of damage from Vala.
I'd look for a Void Prison any second now. Maybe even on the Tyrael if he's out of position. We'll see.
APOC,
But
APOC up in 10. Timer's
they need a
ticking
great
down.
Void Prison here and something good. Or, you know,
Absolutely.
and a good pick to happen after that.
And Clairvoyant's not making the commitment in time. APOC is back up, Void Prison's back up, and now Symbiote's looking for a fight, or at least looking to defend. Although they're down 3 levels, still don't have that talent point. Clairvoyant wants to force this keep down.
I mean, honestly, this is arguably a little bit of a mistake by Clairvoyant. They don't have to force a fight here. They can just get coins and go from there. So
Haku going in on the keep, taking a lot of damage. Haku taking a lot of damage there, but does manage to jump in on Kaio, almost burst him down. But Kaio does end up going down here. Meanwhile, only Witch Doctor in the Void Prison, allowing Clairvoyant to keep their strong 4-man core, continue fighting, and it looks like Symbiote's going to end up losing another fight here inside their own base.
That went really well for them. It was risky to keep going there. Again, they could have just sat on their advantage, but it is working out for them. They did get the picks, and
Arthalon getting caught in the re-engage, ends up going down to that isolation damage from Thunderstorm on Falstad, just gets bursted out. And it looks like Clairvoyant definitely in a position to win this game now.
I gotta say, this is either going to be one or two things. This is either going to be Symbiote's first loss in the ESV, or this is going to be one of the best comebacks that ESV has ever seen, because the comeback from 3 levels on black cards is a tough call, or tough task for any team in any situation. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And here we see Team Symbiote looking just super scared. They're taking ogres on their side of the map. They're not doing anything. They have all 5 people there trying to maybe get a push going on this bottom or something, but Clairvoyant knows that they have the upper hand. They're going to try to get a turn in here.
I mean,
that Witch Doctor has 14 coins.
I'm looking at Clairvoyant right now. I'm just thinking, they are the 1% right now. They are rich.
So they have to find a way to get those coins in, though, and they probably should do that before APOC comes up. It comes up in 40. I think they want to try and force a fight or turn in those coins before that comes up, because that's going to be the critical team fight ult that Symbiote is waiting for before they can actually fight. And here Clairvoyant leaves a coin behind as a tip to those night camps. They just enjoyed their service so much, they're going to leave it there. Meanwhile, Diablo waiting out in this vent, trying to get a pick.
They're not actually on horses or wolves. They're actually on Ferraris right now.
Oh, yeah. They've got some Bugattis rolling around in. Just earning interest, you know, the coins. Just getting interest on those, hoarding them.
So rich, so rich.
Meanwhile, to be fair, this seems like a bit of a mistake by Clairvoyant to play so passive during this phase of the game. The Apocalypse was down. It's now the entire cooldown has had time to come back up, and they didn't capitalize on that at all.
Oh man, there's an ambush setting up here. This could end up bad. Are they gonna walk right into it? I mean, I guess maybe they're sending the Tyrael in as a scout. I don't know, but
They end up
Okay.
chickening out and don't face check that.
That was
and,
a very good decision on their part not to go into that bush.
yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And oh, Clairvoyant Gaming has a big push on top side. Symbiote knows they have to make something happen. They pull Descent in, not the right target to focus fire. Hawkfu whiffs the jump, and that's a huge Void Prison on the back line. Now the front line is isolated, but can Symbiote get the kill? Matemi ice blocks the shock and Hawkfu low. Descent looks like he's going to go down, but a huge Uther Divine Storm into Witch Doctor ult ends up cleaning out the fight. Symbiote maybe looking for the disengage. They might not get it. Arthalon in danger. March getting the huge false dead fly. Soldier getting taken down by the Barbarian, and Kaio and March just disengage. And
But honestly,
that is that game? Is that game, CPs?
I'm not sure. I mean, there's 3 down for Clairvoyant right now, and only 2 down for.
But they have total control over.
They do have total control.
Spot.
Like, yeah,
and
right now it's looking
oh
like
my
they're
God.
gonna get more turn-ins, and it's not
Smaug,
looking good. But it's not
Smaug channeling on the Blackheart Pirate. He's
Holy
gonna get
crap,
that turn in.
29
29 coins, deposits 18 to trigger that
Is there a
full
more
turn in.
expensive car than Bugatti can be driving right now? I'm just saying.
I don't know. He's I don't know, honestly. Whatever it is, it's gold plated, spinning rims made of gold, just rolling around. Who knows?
And there was a brief second in the last fight where I thought someone was bad mannering and spamming back. That was actually just Soldier looking to see if he wanted to back out or not.
Well, no bad mannering happening here, except for Team Symbiote getting on the back foot, maybe about to experience their first loss in the ECS here. We see Team Clairvoyant a 19 to 18 level advantage, and they have a huge advantage in objectives on the map. That bombardment not going to clear out that last keep, but it is at half health. Clairvoyant should just wait it out to level 20 before trying to make something happen here.
Oh, absolutely. They have no incentive to fight before level 20. I mean, they can. They're higher level, but it's not in their best interest. And even I would even give up the golem here, in all honesty. Like, why when you're about to hit level 20?
Yeah.
Why risk it?
They aren't on the same page, though. They're engaging on Arthalon, caught out in a stun, but doesn't go down. Void Prison defensively, but not on any important targets. Meanwhile, DIG, huge Divine Storm on 3 into Shock and Awe, Ravenous Spirit, going to take down SMG in the last team fight of that game. I think a 3 for 0 is going to be clean enough to allow Clairvoyant to end this game. 4 for 0? Oh! Suki with the plays. Plague of Toads taking down that Archon. Arthalon trying to do his best, trying to harass DIG, but he doesn't make it happen. And here we have Clairvoyant doing the victory charge.
This is the victory charge. It's over.
This Tyrael leading. Now he's actually using Eldruin's Might to chase onto the enemy core.
Arthon going for the final, trying to kill Falstad play.
March really low there. Ends up getting the shield
just
from Uther.
because. Oh no, Arthalon.
Oh,
He got Falstad.
Arthalon March. Oh, he gets the Falstad, blinks out.
The
DIG does kill him, and that was the last stand of Team Symbiote. Wow.
Oh, just the Apocalypse, so they have to be stunned looking at the core explosion.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a game. Clairvoyant, definitely the underdogs going into that game, take a beautiful advantage and end up clearing Team Symbiote and ruining their undefeated record.